What's going on, guys? This is Devin with Know Your Junk, and we are on to part 2 of leg shaving techniques. A quick reminder for you guys, if you've not gone back and watched part 1 yet, leg shaving techniques have to do with some of the smaller SEO ranking factors to get your website seen by your customers and by Google. These aren't going to be prolific game changers here with just shooting your site up 30 spots, but this is more so for people that are in those competitive markets that grind it out, have to do every little detail right. These are some of the more important small factors to be aware of. And last time in the last video we were talking about URLs and title tags. Today we are going to be talking about inner page linking. And I'll keep this short for you guys today because in the next video, we're going to be talking more about image optimization for you guys, which is the last of what I'd consider pretty important. Even though they're smaller ranking factors, they can still move the needle, right? Which is the ultimate goal here. So when it comes to Junk King, what we're going to be looking for here has to do with how well put together a site is connected. And typically, let me move myself real quick. We'll see here is, we have a header where we have our service pages. Some of us have pricing, about us, things like that. This helps Google go when we finally get onto the web, right? The Google bots will come over, crawl the pages, and the way they find your other pages is by how well connected they are. So what I mean by that is Google, say, will go to the home page, then the website, the web bots can go and see service and then go to the service pages. But what you can still do is link to other pages in your site from those sites itself. So think of it almost like a spider's web where we can just have one string going across, or we can have multiple strings going across. And the better connected that web is on your website to, links to these other pages, the easier it is for Google to find the services and the information that they're looking for. And in turn, that means it's going to help your potential customers find the services that they're looking for navigating your site. So it is a ranking factor in that sense when it comes to user interface. So with Junk King, it doesn't matter too much that this is in San Antonio. With them being a franchise, they do a pretty good job with setting up their sites. We have good content, which of course this is a cornerstone of ranking well for any website. But then if we scroll down further, what you're going to see here is these interlinking service pages. I'm so tongue-tied today. Sorry, guys. But what I'm getting at here is that, you see, we're already on a service page. We're already on mattress removal. But from mattress removal, we can still very easily find out any of the other services that this company offers here. So if we clicked on appliance removal, furniture removal, we can go to those pages. And then again, we're on appliance removal. And look, they talk about some of the appliances that they take. They are connecting still to other service pages. They're doing a fantastic job letting Google and anyone who visits their site know exactly what they're about. Now, in my first video, we were talking about thin content. When we're talking about do's and don'ts for ranking factors, thin content is a don't. And I mean this a little separately from how when I was first talking about just having good content, I don't mean just, not have content on a page. Of course, that's a big part to it, but also don't have crappy content on there. Title tags are an important ranking factor too, but what's important to remember here is that with title tags, they're not more important than good content. So we shouldn't just go and say, well, I don't really want to write content, but I want to rank more. Maybe if I just get a bunch of service pages and I have these H1 tags on here, that'll rank it. It won't. Because here, if we look at an example here, this is a website that I found. They're ranking, but quite honestly, it's just due to a lack of competition in the area. Nothing against the person who owns this site, but I just want to let you guys know that if this was a competitive market, this thing would be absolutely buried. We don't have enough words on here, and when it comes to connecting, see, this is technically interconnecting page. We're going from home page to service page. We have an H1 tag, but if we really had to compete against someone and let them know what we're about with furniture removal, this is it. This is the whole webpage. There's not enough to it. So it's important to make sure that we're getting authentic, unique content. Some of the things I don't want to see you guys doing, or anyone that attempts to do anything in this field do, is spin content, copy and paste content. Google doesn't look at duplicated content. It's not as negative as before, but if you're just going off of some other site, then Google is probably going to pull and take people to whoever site you stole the information from. But the other thing you don't want to do is do what's called spin content. This is honestly a very lazy thing to do. So this is just a website called Spinbot. And what it does is that if we just copy and pasted, right, something our competitor took, Junk King. Yeah, I'm not a robot. And if we went and just tried to copy it and we went, oh, well, it's going to be unique then, Google won't know. Right? So like if we just took that content and we spun it, you can read it. And when you read it and you realize it doesn't sound good, Google's going to do the same thing. Like Junk King. We know what Junk King is, but if you're trying to spin that content, like provides an efficient, safe, eco-friendly construction waste disposal service. That sounds good, and we know exactly what it is. But if we go down here, Garbage King gives a proficient, safe, and eco-accommodating development garbage removal administration. That's not what we want to do, right? We do have to either take the time to sit down and really write out what we're about and what we do, or find someone who can do it for us. Another don't that we don't want to tackle doing is you're just saying, well, I just want to be known for junk removal. I don't want to write about all this extra stuff, so I'm just going to put the word junk removal on my page and in every town that I'm for. That is another really big no, because when we go to Moz and we're looking at on-page SEO, for beginners, just to help you guys know what to and not to do, one of the things that we don't want to do is keyword stuff, which is where, say, if we just have junk removal. So an example of that is this ad right here. So, dog walking services, Los Angeles. Experience LA Dog Walker. If you're looking for an experienced dog walker in Los Angeles, you've come to the right place. I walk dogs in Los Angeles of all shapes and sizes. Many people have busy schedules and do not have time to walk their dogs in LA, but our Los Angeles dog walking service is here to help. See how dumb that sounds when I read that out loud? Google's going to do the exact same thing too, guys. So again, when it comes to interpage linking, we want to make sure that we're linking our service pages to one another, the contact forms, about pages, everything just like what Junk King does, because they do a fantastic job. But also it's important to remember the fundamentals here as we're getting a little deeper, that when we're linking the pages, don't just add a bunch of title tags and no content. Don't spin your content, because then it does sound like a robot wrote it. But also don't keyword stuff, because this isn't 2015. Those are all things that are going to knock you right off the first page of Google if you're looking to compete. Next time, we're going to be talking about image optimization and how some of the cool things that we can do with images can also help your website rank.